And we are back here on the Morning Buzz, WMST 90.3 Upper Montclair. And today we are joined by four individuals that make up one group. We are joined by the one, the only. The undergrads are here. Guys, yeah, let's get some hype, everyone! Yeah! Great show! The undergrads are here! First off, before we jump right into things, how are y'all doing today?
Great.
Amazing.
Amazing, the best.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, sitting here, five people in the studio. We're going to have a great time, guys.
Yeah.
Jumping right into things. You guys make a lot of videos online, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm sure if MySpace was still a thing, you'd probably be on there as well.
Funny enough, we are.
For real.
We still have it.
Hey,
really?
shout out to you guys.
No, why would we have it?
Nah.
Not you, Aiden. Matt.
So, like, when you guys are making your videos, what is the process like for that? Is it something that just you think of on the fly, or is there a lot of preparation that goes into it?
It's, a mixture of both. It's like some things are on the fly. We're always moving fast. So, like, whatever happens, happens. But there's also a lot of preparation, writing and how we get our ideas. So, a mixture of both.
Nice.
You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think we all do improv. We've all done improv for the last 4 years, so it's kind of a mix of both. But we've learned to sit down and do a writer's room and bounce off each other. So and we take a lot of inspiration from stuff we do just hanging out. So we're constantly doing bits in our apartment, and then somebody will yell at somebody, and then we'll be like, oh, that'd be funny. Let's do that, and then we'll kind of sit down and write out a script for it. So
Awesome. So, I mean, a lot of times when people are in the content creation world, you always have influences that inspire you and kind of, you could see that they definitely watch so-and-so, and that's, you could see it in their works. So who are some, comedians, actors that you guys felt like influenced you guys on your videos?
For me, Sean, I would say I'm Sean, by the way. I would say Will Ferrell. I think all of us kind of took a little bit of inspiration from Will Ferrell. You guys got more inspiration from. I got inspiration from my dad, honestly. My dad's a very funny guy. But what about you guys?
yeah, I think huge inspiration for our group and stuff. Like I watch shows like It's Always Sunny. Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave, some SNL, Tom Segura, Bill Burr as comedians. You kind of take everything and make like a Frankenstein monster out of our videos. But
And I would say for me, like The Office, the American Office, is as cliche as it is now to say it's your favorite. I just think that's like a masterclass in character development and story, and all the actors there either came from improv acting or went on to do it and bigger, better things after the show. So that's definitely something that for me is an inspiration. That's something I love.
yeah, I think we pull a lot from The Office, and its camera style too. The Zoom kind of found footage or like handheld type of comedy is something that we do, and we just like the look of that. So I think we take a lot from the actual look of The Office too.
For sure. So the undergrads itself, do you guys have a goal with it, or is this just something you're just having fun with right now?
Undergrads to the moon, baby.
I think we have goals, plural. It just depends which one we hit. I mean, we would always like to have our own show on TV. We'd always like to blow up on social media and grow our social medias. It's kind of just whatever happens type of thing, and we're not going to stop.
But I think the biggest difference that a lot of people see this and they're like, oh, these guys are just having fun. It's not a big deal, but it's like a full-time job to us. We really take it seriously, and we really want to further our careers in comedy and do it together. So we put a lot of time, effort into writing, editing, filming. We don't mess around as much as fun as it is. We view this pretty seriously. We take a lot of time to make good quality original content. So I think that's the difference.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned social media, and I'm interested to know because obviously you can make videos on TikTok or YouTube, and those two platforms are very different in the sense that you only have a certain amount of time on TikTok. YouTube, you can make a 3-hour feature film and someone's going to click on it, right? So I'm wondering, what are some of the which platform do you find easier to create for?
Probably TikTok and Instagram, because we usually double post. Like we'll post our Instagram stuff to TikTok and vice versa. But TikTok because I feel like there's so much out there that people want to see. So it's like we can have so many different styles and reach so many different audiences with our videos. And we've had like, many different styles of videos go viral. And I think it's easier to connect with an audience on TikTok.
I feel like YouTube is something that we've had like stints of here and there. And every time we go into it thinking like, oh, let's get back into YouTube, let's do that. It is so much work, like way more work than I think we were cut out for. And we kind of had to realize like, okay, we just can't really afford time to do this right now. Because if you have, say a 1 minute video on TikTok, we can edit that in maybe about 2 hours or even less. But for a 15-minute long YouTube video with tons of footage, it's really just not sustainable for us right now. And it's a great platform. And obviously we all love watching it. We use it every day. But yeah, I would say definitely TikTok and Instagram are like our biggest, huge, platforms that we use right now. But I think eventually we'll definitely stretch out into bigger platforms as well.
Awesome. Now, the thing about TikTok that I hear often is that it's very, I wouldn't say easy, but you have a higher chance of going viral on that platform. But the hardest part is maintaining the audience. How have you guys been able to maintain an audience?
That's a good question.
I think a lot of it is sticking to your style. I mean, like James mentioned, we kind of experiment a lot on TikTok, and sometimes our videos flop just like everyone else's. But I think it's just consistency with uploads and sticking to our style of video. I notice a lot of the times our our typical style videos go viral, and sometimes our experiments flop. So
Yeah, I think it's also just about being original, and people, there's a lot of like stuff on TikTok where you can just use a sound or do a trend and hop on it. But I think we always do a good job of number one, there's not a lot of young sketch comedy groups on TikTok. And I think we're one of the ones that are number one, original, number two, have a voice, and number three, are constantly pushing the boundaries of storytelling and making audiences laugh and trying to make an audience laugh. And I think we do better than anyone, just making that happen and being consistent and being original. And I think that's huge for us. And I think that's what separates us from everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, final TikTok question, hopefully, guys.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, right. So when it comes to TikTok, obviously you see videos where like it's just someone dancing, or literally it could be someone just standing there and it goes viral. Makes no sense. Is that frustrating for you guys? Because you could tell that you guys are putting a lot of hours and energy into these videos, and someone can just dance in front of a mirror, go viral, and become like the biggest trend.
Yeah, for me, I would say that is kind of frustrating when you look at a video and you're like, why does this have 10 million views? Like, it's literally just a person, But I also think on the opposite end of that, we sometimes will get what's called shadow banned for videos that are, quote, either unsafe or whatever, and it's never bad. But I see videos out there, without getting into great detail, that are far worse than what we do, and they have millions of views.
Yeah.
And we're like, really? They're letting them get away with that? So I would just say, as a whole, the platform is kind of frustrating with the algorithm. But that's kind of just, the thing you sign up for, so you kind of got to deal with it. But
it's also important not to compare yourself to others. Yeah, it gets really annoying sometimes, like seeing stuff like that, or even when people like take your ideas or whatever. But it's like, that's what the platform is. Honestly, that's what TikTok is. Everyone steals each other's ideas. It's annoying when people steal your ideas and they go viral.
Yeah.
But you got to just keep rolling and know that you're the creator, you're the original one, and you're going to succeed one day with your ideas.
Yeah, I think we all can agree here that if we were all like 6'3", had green eyes, and were ripped, it'd be awesome. We could just stand in front of a camera and get millions of views.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of wears out. I think that doesn't challenge anybody creatively, and I think that's a blessing and a curse. As fun as that sounds, I think we're more concerned about just like having fun with it, and again, telling a story and like pushing ourselves creatively.
Hey, don't say no to the dream. You could always get some green eyes and
Yeah,
abs and
yeah.
call it a day.
Well, James is our good-looking one, so we just put him in front of a camera. We make
There
him
you go.
dance.
Right there. See, you guys are on your way to something big. So you guys, I would consider you guys comedians, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you guys are aware the world was shooken up by what happened between Will Smith and Chris
Oh
Rock.
boy.
Here we
So
go.
I'd love to hear from your guys' perspective, because it's, somehow it's pretty controversial. So, that incident happened. Is there a point in which you think you could probably go too far with the joke at all?
Yes, but
Yeah.
I don't think that joke was
No.
crazy
No,
out of
no.
line. Also, it set a bad precedent for comedians in a way where it's like, wow, he just got slapped because of a joke that he didn't like, didn't get kicked out of the Oscars or anything. And then like I feel like it sends a message to an audience saying like, oh, if I don't like a joke, I could do something about it now. And that shouldn't be the case because comedians literally that's their job to make jokes. So if you don't like a joke, just shut up and take it.
Yeah, and
Which
there is a line, like for sure. Like there's just certain things you just don't joke about, especially if they're very raw, very recent, very current. But I do feel like in life it's just important to have a sense of humor, and when you pay or invite somebody like Chris Rock, who's a famous comedian, to come onto this big platform and make a joke that honestly he probably didn't even write himself. I mean, I don't know that for a
Yeah,
fact, but
for sure.
it was approved by the Academy. It was approved by all their producers and legal people. And so for Will Smith to take that action, it's like we're just joking. Like it's all in good fun. By no means did he mean to spite her or to make fun of her in the sense of actually trying to degrade her image. It's just you have to have some a sense of humor and
It's
a little bit of self-deprecation.
it's also like they're friends. Like
Yeah.
Chris Rock and Will Smith and Jada like are friends. So that was like kind of weird that he got up and slapped her. And you got to look at other things within people's lives and relationships, and it all kind of looks a little weird that happened, in my opinion. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think I think like James said, it's a slippery slope because the job as a comedian is to like push the boundaries, and I'm under the pretense that anything can be joked about, anything can be funny if it's funny, and I thought that joke was funny. There are some jokes, there is a line, but to me it's like whether it's funny or not, or whether it's tasteful or not, and for Will Smith, that wasn't fun. I mean, it was funny to him, and
it was
then he got the
funny
death
to him.
eyes.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
like that's why I thought it was so
yeah,
weird. It's like a
but
weird whip
it's
situation.
one of those things where it's like if you disagree with something, that's okay to disagree, but to get up on stage and on national television and slap somebody, that makes no sense to me.
Especially after laughing at it,
I don't
and
know.
then you get up and slap
Like
him.
he's already in the doghouse. I mean,
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
There you guys have it. If we learned anything, at least, guys, is never to say Jada Smith's name. I think we can all agree on that point at this time. I'm not trying to get slapped. But you guys, one of the first videos I saw from you, it was a challenge in New York City, and it reminded me a little bit of Impractical Joker kind of vibes to me. But you were doing like these little dares throughout the city. I was wondering, how did that feel doing that video? Was that kind of like, did you get cringy inside doing these challenges?
Yeah, some part. I liked it. It was fun because I just like working with other people, like getting people involved, as long as they have fun doing it. I don't like. I hate Nelk where they have the joke at the person's expense, and it's like it's just them being mean to people on camera. But I liked our version of that because it was like we felt like we were having fun with the people on camera, and we never made anyone uncomfortable. Sometimes it gets a little cringy and weird. Like for instance, when I was getting that girl's number, that was I literally couldn't think of anything in my head. I don't know why. I had like one pickup line ready to go, and I used it, and I was like, "Oh, what's next?" And then literally stood there for like a minute. I was like, "Oh my god!" And her parents were there, and that was weird.
Wow.
And James was talking like all the crap all day, just be like, this challenge is gonna be fun. I got a good
one.
And then he
and
said
I used it.
he said the first one, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not single. You should ask my friend." He goes, "Oh,
Yeah,
completely froze." I'm like behind camera watching this as his face is just red. I'm like, anything, literally, you use anything. He goes, Never mind. Put an accent. It was so. It just turned out to be one of the best clips of
Yeah.
the video.
You know what? Here's a chance of redemption.
Oh.
At 7:48.
Yeah.
Here, give me your best shot. What's the pickup line
All
now?
right, here we go.
So moonshot.
You can't do the same one you did in the
No,
video.
I know, I know. Let me
And,
think.
and you can't be paused on radio for
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than 3
dead air,
seconds.
Oh my
dead air.
God,
So-
see, I'm blanking again.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, dude.
Tough.
Folds under pressure.
I guess we'll never know if you can get my number, guys. Final question before we let you go. You've made tons and tons of videos. What do you guys think has been your personal favorite one?
Ooh.
It used to be so easy to answer. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. It used to be so easy to answer, but now that we have so many, it's kind of difficult.
I would say for me, it switched around a lot, noted, but I think recently, actually, one of our videos that we did where we call it the window sketch, where James and I are in our room and Pat is outside trying to, with a speaker, basically like, call out his former lover, try to get her back. And we have this really funny, just like back and forth. So I would say for me, that's probably my favorite video that we've done. I think it just worked really well and flows really well, and really proud of it.
I would say my favorite is, as of recent, is the Taylor Swift window one. The
Oh, yeah.
other window one.
the original.
You guys got a
window.
thing for windows,
Yeah,
huh?
that one was fun. I only say that one over that because I wasn't there for that
Yeah.
other window
Taylor
one.
Swift one was fun.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite ones as of recent was the one we had just filmed with our acting class. And I mean, I'm not even in that video, but I helped write it and helped like assistant direct it with Mikey. And it was just so fun to work with like a group of actors who like normally don't do stuff like this. And it was so much fun because it was back and forth, and we had them do different takes and we had them do improv, and then going through the footage and lining everything up and using the different takes. It was so fun to watch James edit, like, because James is our main editor, so I'm behind him, I'm laughing, he's laughing. I'm not even in the video, but that's probably one of my all-time favorites personally. But
That's cool. So remember when I said last question? I lied. So one more important question. Well, two actually. When you guys are the undergrads, and obviously in college, you have a time limit to the point where you're no longer the undergrads.
Yeah. Get to the point.
I
You know what you're
need
gonna
to
say.
know, come graduation time, are we changing the name?
The name stays the same.
Yeah.
We will be the
It's-
undergrads.
The undergrads forever.
I had a class with Professor Poland, Isabel, and there's this guest that came in that was talking about. I talked about the undergrads with him, and he was like a producer somewhere, and he was like, I think it should stay. And he explained to me why. And then I was like, you know what? I think I should tell the boys this, that we're keeping the
Why,
name.
Sean? What was the reason?
He said it's funny and ironic 20 years down the road if we're
Yeah.
40 and we're called the undergrads, and it's kind of funny.
just these
Like a
shout
10.
out.
This is old.
No,
guy.
right?
It's a valid point. Valid point. But should you guys need to change your name, what would you call it? Putting you on the spot again.
Maybe like the graduate,
The graduate.
Or
Or barely graduated.
barely graduate. Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair.
Overgrad.
Barely grads.
We'll keep the undergrads, guys. We'll roll with that.
Brainstorm.
Lastly, before you go, where can the people find you?
They can find us on Instagram at undergrads, on TikTok at the undergrads, on YouTube, the undergrads, and come out to see our very own live comedy show April 5th at 8 p.m. in the MSU Student Center ballrooms.
You can
It's
get
gonna be-
tickets online.
Go to our
Uh,
Instagram. You can see it on our link. It's only $5, and it's gonna be a great show.
Yeah,
Be
we have a
very
couple
funny.
more live shows coming up too after that one. So if you can't make that one, stay tuned.
Awesome, guys. Hey, we appreciate you coming on. It was a great time. You guys got things to do, but maybe you can come back in the future.
Absolutely, we'd love to.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much.
We're gonna take a quick break here. That was the undergrads here on the Morning Buzz, WMSC 90.3 Upper Montclair. And when we come back, we got some segments and other things to talk about.